It was a night for the ages. A young man, less than a year off the campus of Michigan State University, Magic Johnson, led the Los Angeles Lakers to a world championship. And now, beginning tonight in Seattle, this Laker team will attempt to do what has eluded the last 11 champions of the NBA, and that's win back-to-back titles. It's the Lakers and Seattle, coming up on CBS.
The NBA on CBS. Tonight's game is sponsored by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. Lowenbrau, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer, let it be Lowenbrau. And by Shell Fire and Ice Motor Oil, formulated to save gas.
The 35th year for the National Basketball Association. So a happy anniversary to the NBA, and thank you for joining us tonight in Seattle. I'm Brent Musburger, along with Big Bill Russell and Hot Rod Hundley. And Bill, we talk about teams trying to win back-to-back titles. It eluded Portland. It got away from Seattle. Now it's the Lakers' turn. Can they get the job done this year?
Well, you know, Brent, I was talking to the last coach that coached back-to-back championships.
Who might that be?
And so I said to myself...
I forgot. Yes, indeed. It was the Boston Celtics and Bill Russell that did it. There have been a lot of changes in the league this year. New faces here in Seattle. Let's go to Hot Rod Hundley with the coach of the Sonics, Lenny Wilkins. Hot Rod?
All right, Brent, Lenny, last year you had what was recognized as one of the greatest backcourts in basketball. Now, speaking of Dennis Johnson and Gus Williams, tonight you don't have either one of those young men.
That's very true, Rod, and we certainly like to have one of them.
Well, Gus, how far away from him are you?
I really don't know. I don't get involved in the negotiations, but he is not here, and of course we certainly would love to have him with us.
And you got a new player. How about him?
Right. We have Paul Westphal with us this year. We feel that he'll fit in and do a good job, and we're looking forward to the season.
And 35 pals are going to be here tonight. That should help you.
Well, it certainly should. I tell you, we got some tremendous fans here, and I'm sure they'll be supporting us all year long.
Okay, Lenny, good luck.
Thank you, Rod.
Lenny Wilkinson, here's Paul Westphal, the newest man, and one of your teammates, Dennis Hopkins, said you look better in green than you do in purple.
You look pretty good in green too, Rod. Are you homer tonight or what?
I know where I'm coming from. How about playing with this ball club? Have they changed your style of play, or are you going to be the same Westphal?
Well, I hope to just go out there and not goof these guys up too much. They've had a great year the last 3 years, and I just try to fit in and play the way I can play.
You haven't had a chance to play with Gus Williams, and I know that you were probably looking forward to that. Will that put more of a burden on your shoulders offensive-wise in this game?
Well, we'd like to have Gus, but when you see Vinnie Johnson, he's a pretty good player. I think that we won't be hurting back there at all.
And defensively, what will you have to go against Magic Johnson?
Yeah, I'll be guarding him tonight.
All right, good luck to you, Paul, and have a good year.
Okay, thanks, Rod.
All right, let's go back to Brent.
All right, we met the scoring part, the new member of the Sonics. But Bill Russell, I remember last year when you said to me on several occasions, Dennis Johnson is a key man on the Sonics. Now he is gone. Johnson and Coach Lenny Wilkins, and can they work it out with a new cast of characters?
Well, I think it was a classic personality. Dennis Johnson's a very strong, real young man, a very strong personality, and he kind of dominated his team. I think this is going to be a different team. They will have to play a different game. I don't know how effective it will be, but it will not be the same.
Do they have enough defense in the backcourt? We know they've got scoring punch, particularly when Gus Williams checks in.
No, they won't have as much defense. There's no doubt about that. Now, what they pick up from Paul Westphal is a better shooter, a pure shooter. And Paul is probably better in a Seattle offense because if Phoenix is more confined. But I think that the difference in the trade is going to have both teams, actually.
Okay, well, there's a team that has a fat hand. They finished up basically with 7 men a year ago when they ousted Philadelphia in 6 games. They have recently added Jim Brewer. They're coached by a marvelous story, Paul Westhead. Hot Rod Hundley is standing by with him now, and let's go to Hot Rod.
Well, you come a long way, baby, and you got to win this championship again. I know you're hoping that way. Your players talk about it at halftime, a masterful piece with Bill Russell, but you're the man that calls the shots. What do you got to do to win it again?
Well, we have to have fun, Rod. We're not going to put the pressure on ourselves. We're going to whistle as we work. We're going to enjoy the season. And I think if we relax, I think we're going to be very successful once again.
How about Jim Brewer? You've made a move. You picked him up. I think if you had a short suit, probably it would be on the bench. Now you seem to be stronger.
Well, he's been here for one day, and we're going to use him tonight, I'm sure.
How about Magic? Has he changed over the summer?
I don't think so. He looks a little bit more enthusiastic. He's shooting the ball more, and I think he's ready for a big sophomore year.
All right, Paul, you did a great job, remarkable job, and good luck this year.
Thanks, Hot Rod.
All right, let's go back to Brent for the introduction to the starting lineup.
Now meet the Lakers. Jamal Wilkes, Jim Jones, and of course, now 33 years old, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Norm Nixon, and the Magic Man, Irvin Johnson, starting for Paul Westhead. Matched against Lenny Wilkins and the Seattle Supersonics, John Johnson, Lonnie Shelton, Jack Sikma, Vinnie Johnson in place of Gus Williams, and of course, Paul Westphal, who, when he is on, can light up an entire arena. Our referees tonight, Eddie Rush there on the right and Bob Rakel on the left. And we are ready to kick off our CBS coverage of the National Basketball Association, the defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers and the Seattle Supersonics. And Bill Russell, Vinnie Johnson, number 15. What are his strengths and weaknesses here as he opens in place of Gus Williams?
He's a pretty good ball player. He's a pretty good shooter. I haven't seen that much of him because he didn't play last year, but Lenny's very pleased with him. Lenny says he can play.
Sikma on a bounce pass to Shelton, who powered to the glass. And the Sonics score the first field goal. And Shelton retreats on defense. And do you recognize Jack Sikma? That is indeed a new look hairdo. Got rid of the Prince Valiant look. We'll give you a good tight shot of that. Magic dumps it into Kareem, the man with the haircut. A little swinging around miss. Loose ball batted out of bounds. And there he is. He is now the boy with the curls, Jack Sikma. But he's just as rugged and as aggressive as ever. Got worn out a bit in the playoffs last year, matched against first Bob Lanier and then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but he's kind of the Iron Man up here in Seattle. Squeezes the trigger, short, Norm Nixon off. Lanes are filled right and left, and Kareem's leading. Puts a move on Westphal and penetrates, and here's Silk. Kareem with an offensive rebound on Sikma. Cross to Jones. Jones is short, and Sikma's ceiling on Abdul-Jabbar. And now, John Johnson or JJ. Superb passing forward, as many of you NBA fans know. Gives it off to Vinny. Sikma moves it quickly to Westphal. Hits his first shot in Sonic Green.
You notice they have that mismatch with the guard. Nixon plays Westphal.
Vinny Johnson, hot rod, pushes it up to 6.
And there's that mismatch. It's Magic Johnson, of course, playing the opposite guy.
Wilkes looks in, moves right. Here's Magic. Westphal knocks it away. John Johnson quickly to Vinnie Johnson.
That's a great play. They thought he was going to go back to Westphal. They hit the open man from the left side.
It is indeed tough to repeat in the NBA, isn't it? Need you say more as Abdul-Jabbar gets the Lakers up on the board, 8-2, and Shelton breaks quickly.
Kareem was enjoying that 2 points, and he forgot to look up. Shelton went right by him for a layup.
Hey, Russ, this is a real ambush that Wilkins had planned here early. He got the wagon circle, big fella. In and out. And the Sonics are going after every loose ball, slapping it away on defense. Playing with some superb intensity. Now Magic. A one-man transition game. Norman Nixon. Jamal will circle underneath, and Nixon's jumper is on the money. 12 seconds on that 24-second shot clock. Jones and Shelton muscling down low. And a foul is called as Shelton puts it down.
8 feet from Westphal, who was open to take the outside shot, but he elected to give it to his teammate in for the layup.
The personal foul is called against Jack Sikma, number 43. That is his first.
Perfect Jack inside, and look at Kareem jockeying inside, rolling to the middle to get the ball away from Sikma for the foul. That's his first, the first team foul in Seattle.
Here's Nixon. It's a 10-point Seattle lead, and it is cut to 8. With the Johnson assist and 4 points for Nixon and 2 by Abdul-Jabbar. Wilkes did not shoot well during the preseason, hit 35%, and he has not yet broken into the scoring column. His performance in Game 6 against Philadelphia was somewhat overlooked. He had one of his greatest games ever. 5 seconds on the shot clock, and as Johnson tried to regain it, Ed Rush had the foul called against number 32, the Magic Man.
Looked like he had made a clean play here. Magic not happy with the call. They'll knock the ball away there. That's a clean one. And then when Vinnie Johnson, number 15 for Seattle, picks it up, Magic from behind is called for the foul right there as he swatted away at the ball.
Rush, they tell me that Magic played a lot of softball back in Lansing, Michigan during the summer. Is that how you used to stay in shape when you were a Celtic?
No.
Nixon in the middle, and that lane is filled beautifully, but still the Lakers got inside. A pretty play. Wilkes was taken away on the right lane, and he just kept on going.
Magic says 6'9" guys can hit.
Remind me to ask Rusk another question quickly, Hot Rod. Sigma comes up. Kareem came at him, and Sigma went back in and missed the tap in, and a loose ball foul underneath it. Shelton up over the top of Jones.
You know, I was talking to Lenny Wilkins before the game, and if he had Gus playing tonight, he said he's very pleased with the team he's got. He's got some surprises. He's got some players that can play and that fit his system, and he's looking forward, when he gets Gus back, to having just really enjoying it. And I tell you this, I've never seen Lenny so relaxed as he is now.
Kareem fouled. There's one of the young men on the Seattle team, Donaldson. 7 foot 3 inches. Played traveling out of Washington State. You'll see him matched up tonight against Kareem. We'll be right back.
Here's Magic Johnson bringing the ball out front. He'll drop into Kareem. I watch Seattle help out. Kareem wants to go for the sky hook. Sigma overplays him to left, but Magic, as he so often does, gave him a perfect pass. Here's Vinnie Johnson reaching in to help, and Kareem went back to the left side and put the shot up and drew the foul. And of course, Nixon out front rush never left, and that enabled Vinnie to help out. So when they go to the big guy, the guard's got to get out of there, right?
Well, Westfall was assessed that personally. That's his first. Did you see both guards trying to help out with Abdul-Jabbar, the 6-time winner of the Most Valuable Player Award in the NBA, and of course he missed that clinching game in Philadelphia, and that's what made Johnson's performance all the more remarkable. Now it is Vinnie Johnson bringing up against the double team, quickly to Westfall from the corner, and he got the bounce. Nice soft touch, and as you know, when he gets hot, look out.
Now that was a gamble on the Los Angeles part. They want to double team the ball, try to pressure the guards.
Intercepted by Shelton. And the Sonics look good on defense here early too, don't they? Shelton with a quick move, blocked from behind beautifully by Abdul-Jabbar. A gorgeous piece of defensive work. 16-9. Jamal Wilkes, he's hit 2 in a row now.
Got the best baseline jump shooter in the game. Super.
Now you may have noticed Jamal Wilkes, he very rarely dribbles the ball, but he does a great job of moving without the ball, and this is a really complimentary game that Magic Johnson plays.
Nixon was pushing Westfall, and so here comes one of the better free throw shooters up to the line. 16-11, Sonics over the Lakers. 5 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the first.
And this man at the free throw line is pretty good without the ball too, and he made a move there, cutting down the middle. If you overplay Westfall, he'll go on you, as he did that play, and he got the foul.
The last time down when Los Angeles tried to double team, that's a dangerous play with a shooter like Westfall going down when you double team the other guard, because he's free and he's a good passer too.
It'll be interesting to see, Russ, when Lenny goes to the bench, if he finds the same intensity and skills that he has from his starting 5. Depth, of course, so important in this league. An 82-game schedule in the regular season. The Lakers stayed pretty much injury-free a year ago, and that was no small factor in the championship, as Norm Nixon and you get a good look at the man on that Sonic bench. Downtown Freddie Brown.
Norm Nixon thinks he's a hunchback of Notre Dame, but that's because Lonnie Shelton just rang his bell real good. He said a pick, and
What do you see a block there? Magic came from behind Vinnie Johnson and got a hand on that block. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. and you get a jump ball out of the play. So Magic doing it at both ends.
Russ, that is twice that the Lakers have come in over the top. Kareem did it down low, and now Johnson does it outside. And the tap goes out of bounds, and they'll re-jump it.
Old Magic walks like he's 70 and plays like he's 15.
Out of bounds, goes over to the Sonics. Paul Westphal will take it out of bounds here directly in front of us. The Sonics with a 5-point lead. Remember, at one time they were up by 10. JJ. He's one of those old geezers that just keeps on going. You want to count him out, sure enough, he'll show up at a great game. Marvelous passer. Here's Magic. John Johnson, out of Iowa, played with Cleveland. Dishes off. Inside move by Shelton, and it's strong.
That's a great play in a super feed. Johnny Johnson came in at 70, Brent. That was a super year for talent out of college basketball.
Off Kareem's hand on the turnover. Shelton breaks, double covered. Vinnie Johnson free. Missed the shot, and Magic is off. Slows quickly to Nixon. He moved his backcourt. Yes, indeed, he traveled. He brought that foot back as he made the pass.
One thing you want to do here, Brent, is stop the ball at a fast break. They slowed Magic, then to Nixon. He made the little step there, and it's called for traveling. No basket on the play.
And it was just a little step, too.
The Lakers eliminated the Sonics from last year's playoff round, and they did it rather easily. Westphal with Nixon fouling him, and so Paul comes back to the free throw line.
One reason you'll see a player like Nixon playing Westphal is that he can move quicker than Magic defensively. He can stay in front of him, yet he gives away the height advantage of a couple of inches there, and that's how he got the shot away.
Well, the Boston Celtics roll at home tonight. Rush in the Garden. They got 130 points. Robert Parrish, their new center. Kevin McHale, now on that team. And here's a team to watch right here. Milwaukee in Philadelphia beats the defending Eastern Conference champions. And remember, Milwaukee is in the East this year. That's realignment, so they pick up a 3-point victory. Gene Shue now with the Bullets. They go on the road into Detroit, and they down the Pistons by 10, 95-85. Those all finals completed, and our score now shows the Sonics again up by 10. Magic trying to draw the foul. Kareem has got it back. No foul against Westphal and Shelton. On the bounce, it's Westphal inside.
Good move. You know, at the other end, you may have thought that Jones perhaps overpassed, but Kareem wasn't looking for that ball. He thought Jones was going to shoot it. Bounced right off his shoulder, and that enabled Seattle to get a field goal.
Knocked away from Kareem as they went in behind. Russ, I'm extremely, as Michael Cooper reports in for Paul Westhead. Another final, Indiana over New Jersey. Young net team, 110-91. Indiana wins on the road. Russ, I was going to make an observation as strongman off the Laker bench. Mark Landsberger checks in that I think Lenny's defense is playing extremely well. They're all over the ball. Shelton and Westphal mixing it up good down here.
They are playing good team defense, which they have to do because as a team, they don't block a lot of shots. They have to play defense with their feet, which they're doing. The only thing that where they can run into a problem is they have to maintain a high level of intensity. If they let up, then the coordination is the thing that suffers. And the key to their defense is coordination.
We've got a timeout here in the Kingdome. We've got more than 30,000 fans on hand. 3:26 to go in the first. We'll be right back. Magic Johnson comes out to the free throw line for the Los Angeles Lakers, and Michael Cooper has checked into the game for Coach Paul Westhead. And I should point out that Cooper's not feeling 100%. He told me before the game he'd been suffering from the flu. And Russ, he's another one of your favorites. You loved his contribution to the Lakers last year.
Well, I like guys that go out, play the hard-nosed defense, play with their feet, and hustle and and are willing to play a role. And because that's what a championship team is made of guys that are willing to sometimes take a back seat so that they can be a part of a championship team.
We've got 3:20 now to go in the first. It's a 10-point Seattle lead over the defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers. Jack Sikma. Magic on him. Kareem reaches out, and here's the young man from Baylor, Benny Johnson. Got it inside to Shelton. Mark Landsberger quickly contributes a rebound. Here's Coop. Deacon Sky. JJ. Jamal on the turnaround, and John Johnson was right with him. Offensive rebound, turnaround, Kareem. And JJ off of the defensive board. Bouncer now to Benny. Cut off by Magic, who are yelling for traveling.
They just took little steps. They weren't real big ones.
Knocked away from Sikma. Now that shot clock goes down inside of 10 seconds. Sikma on the turnaround. And Shelton had Sikma open and didn't pick him up in time. Now it's Westfall.
Can't let him square his shoulders. Wide open. Picture pretty on that jump shot.
That is 11 points for Paul Westfall here in the first period. And you can see that the Lakers have been sloppy and the Sonics have been air-free here in the early going. A very telling statistic.
2 minutes left in the quarter. 2 minutes.
Magic trying to dish inside, and again, Russ, double team the ball. The Sonics know exactly where to go against this attack.
Well, the Lakers are not moving very well without the ball tonight. They're not moving away from the ball. And what they're trying to do is where one guy penetrates or get the ball to one guy, but they're not cutting. They're not opening up. And so the Seattle defense, in fact, the way the Lakers are playing, they're helping the Seattle defense.
Abdul-Jabbar throws one in, and Lenny made a couple of substitutes you saw. Downtown Freddie Brown now works in the backcourt, and James Bailey, number 20. He's up front.
Well, he's a big fella. He can go to the boards, he can rebound, and he can foul.
And congratulations to the Kansas City Royals, who have just won their first championship ever, eliminating the New York Yankees in 3 straight games. George Brett did it again tonight with that 3-run home run, and now it'll be Kansas City against either Houston or Philadelphia for the baseball championship. So to all those great fans in Kansas City, the Kings, the Royals have done it, and the Yankees bow out rather meekly. Now here, we've got 27-17. The Seattle Supersonics are ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Mark Landsberger has missed a free throw for the world champions. Paul Westfall has scored 11 points in the first period, his first regular season game playing for Lenny Wilkins.
Got a final score. Utah with Darrell Griffith, one of the top college players last year, beat Portland tonight, 96-86.
Hot Rod, how is Darrell Griffith going to do?
I think he will move in and play with the same intensity and be just as great a player as was Larry Bird and Magic. That's saying a lot, I know, but I think that it's all there. He'll be a great star.
That's the time remaining in the first period. It comes free again. Still another turnover by the Lakers. And that's number 8 for them in the first period. James Bailey, offensive rebound. The shot was a little too flat. And perhaps a touch hard. Here's Cooper. Kareem comes back. And now it's 5-on-5.
That's a big 5-on-5 when he comes back.
Missing and taken off by Bailey, quickly to Westfall. Bailey rises up. I think Kareem's a little tired, Russ. He's come down slowly the last couple of times. Magic hits a left-hander coming inside. Just when you think, he's seen it all from that young man, Hot Rod. He comes up with that bit of wizardry.
He's got it all.
Sikma quickly responds. And it's an 11-point Seattle lead.
Seven seconds. They look for that last shot of the quarter.
High arch, Sikma out. 1 second. They will not get the shot off. The Sonics lead the Lakers 31-20. And the NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. There's a former NBA great you all recognize, Rick Barry, of course, who has retired, and he's still officiating, even though he's not in uniform. He just can't give it up. We are ready to start the second period here in the Kingdome. And Russ, are you surprised by the way the Sonics ambushed the champions?
Not yet.
Number 10, Nixon is back.
I think if you look at James Bailey, what a physical specimen he is. Boy, he can really go to the board. Look at this clock. I think we're having a problem with it. 99 minutes and 58 seconds. How about the score? 11-0. So they'll correct that, and then we'll be underway.
In the meantime, I can give you some other scores. That is our situation. The Sonics are up by 11. In the fourth period, San Antonio leads Denver 84-80. That is in Denver. At the half, Golden State playing in Phoenix, and the Warriors lead the Suns by 2, 54-52. That, of course, represents the other half of the great trade. Dennis Johnson in the backcourt along with Walter Davis for the Phoenix Suns. They're down by 2. A final score, Utah 96, Portland 86. And, of course, Hot Rod told you about that a little bit earlier. And again, congratulations to Kansas City. The Royals eliminate the New York Yankees in 3 straight and win the American League. And something very special for you at halftime. We have talked to Russ about repeating as an NBA champion. You're going to see an intimate conversation with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Jamal Wilkes. Get their thoughts. Russ had a long interview with him, and it's very entertaining. That's coming up at halftime, and Hot Rod's going to pay a tribute to a couple of players who recently retired. Mark Landsberger, not noted for his outside shooting, hit that shot from the perimeter, and now it's 31-22, and the score is working fine on the clock, but not the time remaining. So we will have to pick it up from the PA announcer here in Seattle. We're in the Kingdome. Crowd better than 30,000 on hand, and that was John Johnson.
He makes that move as well as anyone. There's your first quarter stats. L.A. 42% from the field. Seattle, a hot 52.
Bailey goes to Westfall.
Seattle is going to be a real good rebounding team this year, you can see.
Downtown.
Do it again.
Steal by Brown. Draws 2 and then goes in on Jones. Dennis Autry tried to keep it at the Sonic end. Lakers control. Here's Nixon. Cooper with a good little hanging shot. Off Cooper's hands, and it'll go to the Sonics.
.10:50 left. 10:50.
10 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the first half. Dennis Autry in the pivot for Lenny Wilkins. Bailey and John Johnson at the wings. This is young Bailey, and Landsberger fouled him as he put on that move. When you think about the Sonics, Russ, though you really must consider a couple of their youngsters, such as James Bailey, number 20, Vinnie Johnson, Lonnie Shelton, Jack Sikma, a lot of youth, and I suppose players that could get better.
Well, I think they will all get better. How much better, it'll depend on how smart they are. But playing with guys like John Johnson and Paul Westphal can't hurt them at all. Because they got to learn from these guys.
Hey, one thing remarkable, Brent, that Seattle left by 11 at the end of the quarter, and Kareem had 5 rebounds in the first quarter.
Lakers keep it in play neatly at that end, and finally for Wilkes gets the field goal, and that is 6 for Silk. Here in the first half. Jones has not yet scored. Hot Rod mentioned Kareem's rebounds. He also has 5 points. 6 by Nixon and 4 by Magic. Wally Walker will be checking in for Seattle.
Now, Seattle will play the Lakers tougher than most teams because they're a good rebounding team. The Lakers are not a good rebounding team as a unit. They are not a good. They have some guys that are pretty good rebounders, but they're not a good rebounding team.
That's a surprising comment. I'm going to come back and talk more about that. We've got a timeout. It's 37-24. Sonics. That is some of our lineup on CBS this Sunday. The Los Angeles Rams at St. Louis, San Francisco at Dallas. The Chicago Bears take on Minnesota. Philadelphia going against the Giants, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Detroit. So consult your local listings for the game in your area. And of course, prior to the game, Phyllis George will have an interview with O.J. Anderson, the remarkable running back of the St. Louis Cardinals. That's coming up Sunday on CBS. For those of you who just joined us after watching the baseball game, we have a little over 10 minutes to go in the first half. Seattle leads Los Angeles 37-24. The Sonics came out scratching and clawing on defense. A big change, of course, is the fact that Paul Westphal is now wearing the Sonic green. He's over on Lenny Wilkins' bench. And Wally Walker has checked in. Downtown Freddie Brown is at the free throw line, and there's number 44, Paul Westphal.
He had 11 points, 3 assists in that first quarter. Put Seattle out in front.
Don't have to worry about offense if you make the other team work that hard on defense at the other end, I guess. Landsberger lateraling it off to Jones. Backing in on strongman Dennis Autry. He and Abdul-Jabbar have gone at it a few times over the years. Landsberger has it knocked away. Scramble loose. Knocked away from Jones. Picked up by Autry. That's pretty much how this game has gone. As Kenny Johnson came up, it was a backcourt foul.
But they're not going at it, and there's 81 more games to play. Really going hard. There's Paul Westhead.
9 minutes, 32 seconds.
Coming back with the Magic Man.
Wave that wand if you can again, Magic. We need some of that. It is still hard to imagine what happened on that Friday night in Philadelphia with Abdul-Jabbar, left back in Los Angeles, and the headlines in the paper the next day, Magic makes the 76ers disappear. And oh, how accurate that was.
And Russ and I were talking about Jamal Wilkes scored 37 points and couldn't get his name in the paper. He said, I played the best I've ever played. And there he is, number 52. It's like Elgin, huh, Russ?
Russ, one of the things that the Lakers have been unable to do here is to get that withering fast break going and put together a sequence and just absolutely destroy the morale of the opposition as you watch the replay with Nixon coming around. What are the reasons? Do we attribute it entirely to Seattle's defense, or are the Lakers sluggish here?
Well, the Lakers are, the Sonics are getting back on defense, but the key is the Lakers are not rebounding well. In order to fast break, you've got to rebound well. You've got to give the other team one shot, and you got to get that release pass, the first pass out. They're not doing that very well.
Now, you said to me they're not a good rebounding team, but I look at people like Kareem and Jim Jones, and even Magic can go in there. And what's the difference between good rebounding individuals and a team in the NBA? On a loose ball, here come the Lakers on the turnover.
Well, the way Seattle's playing with all the movement they have, that'll make you a good rebounding team.
Landsberger had it rejected by Bailey and regained it. Misfiring, Walker over the top, not called, and Magic Johnson battles his way out of there.
Now, actually, for a pure rebounder, Magic Johnson is the best rebounder on the Lakers. Although Kareem's total will be greater because he plays center.
Walker hits Bailey, went to the left hand, and the foul call. That basket would have counted had he scored it, too. It goes against Jones. We're having trouble with the clock here in Seattle. It has just been announced that there are 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go. We have exceeded the limit, so we are in the penalty. You can see the team fouls up there. 5 against the Lakers and only 1 on the Sonics. 40-24. The defending world champions being blown away, but it is very early.
Well, they just honestly tell them, welcome to a new season. And you take your championship in this game, and a quarter, you get a cup of coffee.
Exactly. The second time around has proved oh so difficult in the NBA. The last 11 champions have tried and come up short. Last team to do it, Bill Russell's Boston Celtics.
Bill Russell's Boston Celtics. All right.
I think Red Auerbach has gone to sleep. He probably didn't hear that. Landsberger muscles his way on Bailey. Foul called on James as Mark came up with the shot. Boy, that Mark is strong.
You think there's not a lot of leaping and leaning in there? Bailey and Landsberger. If one of them just took a step back, the other guy would fall on his face.
James Bailey is out of Rutgers. His school's got its hands full tomorrow in football. They take on Bear Bryant and the Crimson Tide out there in the Meadowlands, Alabama and Rutgers. He's a fine basketball player. He can really get off the floor. I'd love to see him get going here with a fast break and take off here pretty soon. And there's Kareem.
You know what he's thinking,
alongside
don't you?
assistant Pat Riley.
You know what he's thinking, don't you?
What's that?
At 33, he's thinking, won't this season ever end?
He probably thought that the first day of training camp. Downtown.
Cooper's playing Freddie Brown, overplayed him to his right, and that time Freddie came off that double swing left, and Cooper couldn't get through it. Brown, a great outside shooter, easily got him.
Johnson sends it over to Norm Nixon on its way. I do want to send along a very happy birthday to a young man who's watching in Mount Vernon, New York. That young man's name is Gus Williams. And tomorrow, he will be 27 years old. And Gus, I want you to know that your buddies are enjoying themselves tremendously here tonight. But the basket counts by Nixon, and he was fouled. He'll come to the line. The crowd not appreciating that call, and Abdul-Jabbar checks in. Now, even though the Sonics have broken from the gate with a vengeance here tonight, make no mistake about it, if you go down the line and ask them, would you like to have Gus Williams back, 100% say yes, and then we'll cross the floor and Sam Schulman will say maybe. All depends on how much money.
And Vinnie Johnson will say, maybe.
True enough.
Because last year he could bring a magazine to the games.
Well, make no mistake about it, it's business. And a player's got a short life. He's got to try to get what he can, and management's got to try to hold the line. Westfall coming up on Nixon, drew the foul. Norman protesting to Rakel, and that is 3 fouls in the first half on Norm Nixon.
Like so many great offensive players, he has a great ability to get the guy to commit himself, and then watch him lean in. He knows he's going to get fouled. He puts the shot up wisely to get 2 free throws.
If you're wondering about the kind of money we're talking about, at one time, Gus's agent asked for $800,000 cash a year. He has dropped it down to $695,000.
How about this?
That's quite a compromise.
Hey, Brent, he also represents Westfall, and next year he'll be a free agent, and they're on the same club.
The man's name is Slusher. You might remember that name. He
Slush
had
Fund.
the New England Patriots on hold for some time.
Wow.
Oh, he and Sam Schulman. I'll bet those are some conversation.
You could have bought 2 franchises for that kind of money 10 years ago.
Kareem swings in the hook, but it won't stay down. Jones off misfire and got the roll to the Lakers.
Brent, does Slusher represent announcers?
Westfall on the pull-up. Kareem lost it. Jones now quickly. Here he is, 20 years old. Left hand rejected. Offensive foul.
Sarge, that's a good call. Magic had overcommitted himself. It was Landsberger who got that tip in on the last play. So we got a timeout. 48-31, the Seattle Supersonics leading the Lakers. We're in the second quarter. We'll be back.
There's the man who will determine exactly how much Gus Williams is finally going to receive, Sam Schulman. There's his lovely wife, Sylvia, who just been into your picture. They live in Los Angeles, fly up here, never miss a game. And why not? This is one of the better franchises in the league, and oh, these crowds, up over 30,000 here again tonight. They were watching that American League Championship Series pumped on a big television screen. Great block by Kareem out of bounds.
Well, I mean, Walker had really put Landsberger out of the play defensively, and that's what makes Kareem. Watch him come over. 33. Here comes Kareem. Walker's got Landsberger beaten, and Kareem says, not today. Flash swatted it right up the seats.
Brown is a touch short, and Wally Walker with an offensive rebound. Landsberger hammering away, came up with it. Lakers are shooting only 5 of 17, or 29% here in the second period. They simply cannot get on track. That is 4 fouls on Norm Nixon, Hot Rod.
Absolutely, and this is the offensive foul. Get the ball back to Seattle. He leaned in and shoved off with that arm as he tried to put the shot up. Autry made a game move defensively to try and block it. Cooper will come back for Nixon.
There's the young man, number 21. Again, not at full strength tonight. He can change up the tempo for you coming off the bench. He can play guard and at small forward. They have him in the backcourt now with Magic because Landsberger, Jones, and Kareem are up front. It is 48-31. The Sonics on the turnover. Kareem had it batted down. Now remember, he and Autry have gone on it on several occasions. One memorable one in Chicago. In and out by Cooper. Off to downtown. Eyes the floor. The veteran out of Iowa. Puts a move on Magic and glides inside, and Kareem got a hand on it, and Johnson will run it down, and on the turnover, the Lakers trying to get that fast break going. He stepped out of bounds. It goes back to the Sonics.
Couldn't get that big 14 out of the way. Here's the play. Watch Magic, which simply steps out of bounds. Right there, loop, yep. Got that little heel on the right foot. Back it up. Thank you, Magic. There you are, a little dance step.
5:52 left in the
And thank you also to our director, Tony Verna. We are blessed with a couple of outstanding directors on basketball here at CBS as Lonnie Shelton comes up. Tony Verna is working this game, and I want to send along our condolences as Michael Cooper hits that shot. Our condolences to the family of Sandy Grossman. It is 50-33. Sonics over the Lakers. We are down around about 5 minutes. The scoreboard clock not working, so that's an approximation. Shelton had it banged by Magic. Here's Landsberger now. Underhands it up. Sigma. Sonics getting the rolls. Early they out-hustled the Lakers. And they have outshot them all game long. Sigma.
Laker guards have got to start moving without the ball, because if they stand like that last time, Westfall was able to reach in and help out on Kareem. And the Lakers are generating no offense.
Into Kareem, and again the swarming Sonics inside. Banged in by Kareem, and they wanted offensive interference. Against the press.
There it is, Big Kareem coming right up over the top. I thought it was a clean.
Oh, certainly. He had the ball outside of the cylinder. There was no question.
And he did not come over the top of any of the Seattle people.
Off by Paul, and Magic checking over his left shoulder as Brown comes back. It's 4 on 5. Kareem knocked down on the attack. Send it across to Cooper. Michael hits, and there is a 4-minute announcement here in the Kingdom. We get a final. San Antonio beat Denver, and David Thompson in Denver. 113-112. Thompson scored 45 the other night in a preseason game against the Lakers, and according to the Los Angeles players, he looked very good. Could be a comeback of the year story in Denver. Ball rolls out of bounds. We also, in the fourth period, get word that Phoenix now leads Golden State 85-78. And another final. San Diego and Paul Silas beats Houston 120-104. Houston will be in Los Angeles Sunday night. That's ring night at the Forum. The commissioner, Larry O'Brien, will be there to give the Lakers their championship rings. And then they'll take on Houston. Here's Westfall. Bounces off of Jones, short. Jim almost tied up. Cooper Stein. There's that alley-oop.
Wow, what a great pass. Now that has to be right on the money, and Magic laid it right up there. Cooper with a brilliant leaping ability. Ducked it in.
Wally Walker on the bounce to Shelton.
3 minutes.
Traveling.
Here was that pass a moment ago. The Magic put right up tie. All Coop had to do was catch it, slam it on down.
We've got a timeout. 2 minutes and 57 seconds to go here in the first half. And Seattle leading the world champion Lakers 52-39.
2:57.
The preceding announcement was furnished by the National Basketball Association. Paul Westfall enjoying Sonic Green against the Laker purple and gold here tonight. He has scored 13 points against the world champions in the first half, and it is 52-39 with the time running down. Abdul-Jabbar is matched against Jack Sigma. Russ, the Laker trainer told me that Kareem has never wrapped his ankles. Not for one game. I find that hard to believe.
No basket.
It goes against Los Angeles. No basket. Goes the other way on the charge.
JJ is in.
Yes, I was surprised. I talked to him earlier in the week, and he said he didn't tape his ankles. Says he never has.
Can you imagine what those ankles have gone through? Didn't John Havlicek once figure out that he ran 8 miles in a basketball game?
Nobody does that, but Now that is not a good example.
That's not
John
fair.
Havlicek, no. Nobody runs that far before or since.
Shelton short.
I'll tell you another one, Brett. The Lloyds of London would like to see Kareem wrap his ankles too.
2:30 left in the half. 2:30.
Here's Wilkes. And there he is. Off with the shot, but knocked right back to Magic, who cleans up. And here in the first half, Magic Johnson has scored 6. That's his first field goal in the second period.
Big Jim Jones kept it alive for him. He's done a good job in there very quietly. Always hustling that board.
2 minutes left in the half.
You could probably hear the 2-minute warning given to the players and the fans in the background here in the Kingdom.
Number 14, Brad Holland.
Brad Holland will check in. Boy, he got 8 points. I believe it was 8 in that championship game coming off the bench for the Lakers last May, and did a real good job.
6 of them may have tied the score or put the Lakers ahead, as I recall. Cooper from the corner. Wilkes. Sigma. Benny Johnson runs it down and keeps on coming on Holland. Missed his shot, but J.J. cleans up.
Got a good nose for the ball, J.J. 6'7". Doesn't jump that high, but he gets a lot of rebounds.
Paul Westhead is searching for a combination that can put together a string. Jones rattles in an outside shot.
120.
Westhead has worked on a new fast-breaking system for the Lakers during the training camp. Instead of just filling the lanes, you run to a designated spot. But as Russell pointed out, you have to control the rebounds to do that. Westphal goes in and ties up Jones. Jones not appreciating the call.
I'll tell you, it looked like it was a little quick because he got the ball right back, but they call it a jump as Paul just reached in there. Big Jim doesn't like it.
103.
And he's very good at expressing himself also.
Yeah, I'd be reluctant to say anything to him.
1 minute left.
Holland barks the play. You can see Kareem circling underneath. Inside of a minute here in the first half. Shot clock at 3 seconds. As the ball was knocked out of bounds, and they'll have 5 to work with.
I wonder where they're going to go with this.
Offensive foul. It goes against Wilkes, his second. And remember, Norm Nixon picked up 4 here in the first half. Magic Johnson 3. If you look at the Seattle fouls, you see 2 against Vinnie Johnson, 2 against Bailey, and no one playing with 3. The Sonics have put together a fine first half here against the champions. The Lakers, though, have been sluggish, and they were really ambushed. There's Cooper. Coming back with a neat steal. Knocked away by Sigma off Jones. 3. Lakers inside, and Jamal's got the field goal. Last shot time for the Sonics of Lenny Wilkins and Les Habecker. And they have to be more than satisfied about this start without Gus Williams. With 4 seconds to go, they counted off on the PA, and Holland is tripped in the backcourt by Vinnie Johnson. A backcourt foul, and Brad Holland will come up with a second to play.
If he'd let him go, I don't think they would have had time to score. Here's Jones' outlet pass. It's a good call. Brad right there making his move. And Vinnie Johnson for a backcourt foul. That's the Sonics' 4th. So at the line, Holland will have 2 free throws. I think the Lakers are fortunate they could be within 7 points if he hits these 2 free throws. And they have not played that well. Seattle has dominated the first half as far as the overall play.
The young man from UCLA wearing that blue knee wrap on the right knee because he underwent off-season knee surgery. And he, in effect, is just rounding back into shape here with the Lakers. So 54-45, and Holland with a big 2 and only a second left. He was a marvelous shooter with the Bruins. Outside man. And there it is, Hot Rod. They get that lead cut just before the half as we come to an end here in Seattle.
That's the half.
So at the half, the Sonics lead the Lakers 54-45. And coming up, Bill Russell will be talking to Abdul Jabbar, the Magic Man, and Jamal Wilkes about whether or not the Lakers can repeat. At the half, Seattle leading the defending world champions. But can the Lakers come back and repeat that title? That's what Bill Russell wanted to find out.
Well, I have this theory that when teams want to repeat as champions, everybody wants to help so much that they want to do a little more. And there's a danger of upsetting the chemistry, because the key to a great team is chemistry, you know. And so I was just wondering if you guys had thought about, would you want to do exactly the same thing, or are there some things you want to change?
Well, I think what we do as a unit will overshadow anything that we do individually. If we are able to rise to the same level that we did last year, we'll have a very good year. We'll win 60 games, or almost 60 games. But that's not going to keep some other team from rising higher. So we can't get caught up in looking around us and trying to compare ourselves to what everyone else is doing. We have to do what needs to be done first, that is, make the playoffs in a good position. And then we have to see what happens from there.
Jamal, what's the difference between this team and the team you want to Golden State in terms of your chance of repeating?
Well, first of all, they're two totally different teams. Golden State was a forward-oriented team, i.e. Rick Barry, and then myself, and the Lakers. Kareem is the man on our team, and you know we have exceptional talent around him. But I think up in Golden State, the following year we came out and had the best record in the NBA, and we kind of petered out in the playoffs. And so if we can just kind of have a little patience with ourselves and not rush too much and throw our chemistry out of balance, I think we have a good chance, you know. We don't want to get too relaxed, but we don't want to be too hyped either.
And you, Magic, you think you'll try to change what you did, or just keep on keeping on?
Well, I think just doing the same, just playing my role, which is just to get in there, rebound some, score a little bit, and try to just smack them on the rear or on their hands and keep them kind of fired up. That was my role. And I think it won't change. But I think I'll be a lot better player this season than last season because of just knowing what to expect now.
Well, Magic, after playing a whole year with Kareem, 100 games, what did you learn from him?
Give him the ball. No, I think what I tried to do, exhibition and during the season, is try to learn where every player wants the ball, where he wants it, and where he can operate best from. And I tried to learn the big fella. It takes a little time more with the big fella than anybody else because he's in only a certain area, which is down low, and you want to get it. You have to really watch him and see where he puts his hand, because once he puts his hand up, that's where he wants the ball.
Now, Jamal here is, I imagine he's the type of guy that at the end of the season he says something and someone says, "Who is that?" Because they don't recognize the voice. He doesn't talk a lot, does it?
No, he don't. He's quiet.
Well, now, you know, in a game, there's a tendency for men that are quiet to kind of forget that they're out there because they'll never complain.
Right.
How do you keep from forgetting that he's out there? You know, and, you know, like you got control of the ball and somebody's got to shoot. And, you know, some guys, they'll tell you, say, "Hey, I need a shot."
Well, believe me, when they want the ball, nobody's quiet. I think Jamal's the first to holler, but I'd say Jamal is a type of player that keep your stats up really good, your assists, because he's a runner.
Well, I think, Bill, it's kind of like a snowball. When you run and you get the ball and you get it where you want it, where you can do something with it, then there's a tendency to want to run more. And you know, with Irvin and Norm, you know, I know if I get out there that if there's a good chance I will get the ball, but if I don't, that someone will get an easy shot, and in the long run, that's going to help the team.
And all that helps you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Because that means you can miss some of those fast breaks.
Yeah, I can watch him from the other end of the court. I used to go to Madison Square Garden and with my high school coach and ask him how come you didn't run down and follow the break? And he said, don't worry, he will when it's necessary. And I learned that from watching you play. So it's not a bad habit.
I didn't think so. In fact,
you have to stick up for me.
That's right. That's right.
I'll stick up for you.
Okay.
I can't get in every break just from the nature of what I was trying to do to get the board and get it out. As the other guys are running, they usually have at least 20 feet as a head start. So I stay back and I'm the defensive safety, and I get a little rest.
Well, everybody knows without your rebound, there's no fast break. So he doesn't have to run, though. When you got 3 or 4 guys that we have on our team that can really get down quick, then he really doesn't have to run, because we're going to get a shot. Somebody's going to get a shot.
How sure that you guys are going to win it again?
We have to be very good. I think we are very good. We have to be lucky. There's no telling if luck is going to smile on us or not. But if we don't do well, I doubt very seriously it's going to be from a lack of effort or preparation.
And how about you? You expect to win again?
I think that we have a very good chance of repeating. We have exceptional talent and a good coach, but I think we have the organization behind us, which was a problem up at Golden State when we won it the first time. But I think here in Los Angeles, you know, we have a very good chance, and I think, as Kareem said, it won't be because of lack of effort or preparation.
And I know you've been you expect to win all the time, so do you expect to win again?
Yeah, I do. I think we have the team that can do it. I always set my goals up high, so I'll be the one that go out on the limb and say, yeah, we're going to repeat. I think it's going to be tougher, no question about it.
I think that one of the great things, at least for me it was, and you never get over it, is that for this whole year, you guys, you'll be introduced as the world's champions.
That's right. Okay. 82 of them.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
This is the 35th year of the National Basketball Association, and 2 of the greatest stars of the past decade have decided to hang up their shoes and go into retirement. Dave Cowens, over a decade of one of basketball's greatest centers. Twice he led Boston to the World Championship in '74 and again in '76. The ability to drive to the basket or turn and face and hit outside. The man who won many World Championships, Bill Russell, talks about Dave.
Well, you know, I know Dave Cowens. And I remember when Boston drafted him, I went back to Massachusetts and talked to him and talked to Red. And I watched him work out. And Red was going around saying, I got to find a center. I got to find a center. I said, Red, you got one. He said, where? I said, Dave Cowens. He said, he's a forward. I said, he could play center. And he did. And he did it quite well. Because he had 2 important ingredients. He was enthusiastic, and he knew what he was doing.
Dave Cowens was an inspirational leader on the basketball floor for the Celtics, and he's going to be sorely missed by Boston.
He just said to me, Red, he said, I've got to retire. I said, you're kidding. See, we had some rumbles of it at the beginning of the year, and we discussed it, and he decided to give it a shot. But he's got so much pride, and he said, Red, I feel my legs, I'm not jumping right. It's just one of those things that you can't put your finger on it, but he just wants to go out high.
Dave is one of the great competitors that has played while I've been playing. Dave always gave everything he had to give. I don't remember ever playing against him and seeing him do anything less than his best. He was quite a team player, and he really led them. They needed that from Dave. And I know that it's got to be hard on someone with that type of competitive fire to go out there and not have all of your physical tools.
Pistol Pete Maravich, NC2A college basketball's all-time leading scorer. It started at LSU, a legend in his own time. The floppy socks of Pistol Pete Maravich, now in the Springfield, Massachusetts Hall of Fame. He's as part of New Orleans as Mardi Gras. And former football great at Green Bay, Jim Taylor, talks about his neighbor.
A couple of months ago, we were visiting and talking, and he had felt like that maybe he lost some of the burning desire to excel and be the basketball player that he was a couple of years ago, and the knee surgery that he had certainly has taken away from his talent and his ability to be what he knew he was and what he could have been at this point with an injury.
His professional career started in Atlanta, on to New Orleans, Utah, and then to Boston. He finished as the 22nd all-time scorer in NBA history, but finally injuries caught up with Pistol Pete.
But when you're injured like that, I think it ceases to be fun after that many years. I can only judge by my own business, you know. As I say, traveling around doing one-nighters is not the easiest thing in the world to do, and I imagine for a basketball player that's prone to injury the way Maravich seemed to be, it would be a drag.
So Dave Cowens and Pistol Pete Maravich have decided to go into retirement. I'm going to miss them both. They were great friends, and in particular, Pistol Pete Maravich, who had the pleasure of doing the broadcast for the 5 years that he played in New Orleans. For Brent and Russ and myself and all the crew at CBS, good luck, guys.
One half of the great trade comes up a winner tonight. Dennis Johnson, now wearing the Phoenix purple, and they are victorious over Golden State and their rookie, Joe Barry Carroll. 121-101, the final Phoenix a winner. Here we're just about ready to start the second half. The Sonics lead the defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers 54-47. The numbers tell it all. At 7:30 to go in the first half, the Sonics led the Lakers by 19 points. 48-29. Then the Lakers went on an 18-9 streak. But even more impressive is the fact that in the last 4 minutes and 50 seconds of the second quarter, the Lakers outscored the Sonics 14-2. And now I bring in Bill Russell to find out why it turned around. Did the Sonics let down, Bill, at that point with the big lead, or did the Lakers start doing some things they were unable to do earlier?
Well, one of the things the Lakers caught and passed the Sonics on the boards. They ended the first half out-rebounded them by 9 rebounds. And you got to have the ball.
And you got to watch that popcorn at halftime.
You're right. Who put that out here?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar cuts it to 5 as he gets in low.
Here's an interesting stat, Brent. Westphal played 22 of the 24 minutes in the first half. I'm sure that didn't happen very often when he was in Phoenix, so he's playing more time already here. Of course, it's the opening game, but he played a lot of minutes during preseason play.
19-point lead to 5. Then Ronnie Shelton sends it back to 7. And for Shelton, 8 points, but he had 6 in the first period, scoreless in the second period. Norm Nixon rises on the jumper. John Johnson gives the Lakers but one shot. Shovels to the middle, and here he is. All Westphal, number 44. He gets it back, and Kareem flying in his face, and Westphal buries 2 more, and that is 15 points for the former Phoenix star. Johnson gets it inside, and Kareem hands back. Sealed up by Westphal, and now Nixon comes around and gets the screen and quickly comes in on Sickman. There was Westphal, and we're going to have a jump ball, and that is about the 3rd time that Westphal, using his hands, has been able to tie somebody up in this game.
He's got a couple inches in height on the play. I thought Nixon should have whipped the ball back to Kareem, who was in the middle, but he tried to force the shot, and it was a great defensive play by Westphal.
Hot Rod, you have watched Westfall closely as Jamal takes a nice pass down inside and hits an easy field goal. Do I demean his defensive talents, or is he weak in that category?
I don't think that he's as weak as a lot of people think. Paul can play defense, and I think Wilkins, and he made this statement before, I expect Westfall to contribute defensively as well as on offense. He can play it.
Pass goes out of bounds. Westfall was trying to go backdoor on Magic. 58-51. The clock is now working here in the Kingdome, and it shows 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third period. Magic holds it up as that shot clock winds down toward 5 seconds. Kind of a jump turnaround by Wilkes. And for Wilkes, a total of 12 points.
Well, in the first half, Magic Johnson had 6 points, and he was played by Westfall. That's not bad defense.
John Johnson. Jones muscling in. Here's Magic. Controlling the attack, waiting for his big fella to get set on the right. Now Kareem will go over and help screen on Shelton. The play was to get Jones through, but Lonnie came through with him. The shot is missed. Kareem, though, with an offensive rebound, gets it in low, and Magic will dribble it back out in the fresh 24. Kareem missing a runner, and Sigma off quickly to John Johnson, and it's 3-on-2. The Sonics hustling back. Shelton gives it to Westfall, who's open.
So Johnny Johnson took the middle. He noticed that Shelton was the man there. He waved him out because he's a better ball handler. JJ took the middle, and they end up with a basket for Westfall.
An elbow is thrown, and Kareem is assessed a personal. That is the first foul, and you can watch as he tries to shake free of Sigma. The left elbow came up. Going back briefly to the first half, Kareem did not have a particularly good half for him. He was only 3 of 10 in 20 minutes. But the Lakers were sloppy handling the ball. They turned it over 14 times to only 7 for the Sonics. And that time, Hot Rod, the way Kareem reacted angrily after he threw the elbow leads me to believe that perhaps there was some pushing and shoving and he was retaliating.
I think that that's exactly right. That Sigma had the saddle on him, and Kareem just brushed him with that left elbow to get him off, and they caught him with the foul.
The second man. John Johnson putting it down, but there was an offensive foul, and this one will go against the Sonics, and it goes against Sigma, only his second.
There's your game's leading scorers.
Westfall at 17, and his helper, Gus Williams, back in New York watching. His brother Ray, of course, in the backcourt for the New York Knicks. They'll get underway this weekend. Brett Holzman saying that's an improved team. Nixon rising up with that jump shot.
Might add that Paul Westfall's brother is now an assistant coach at San Diego with Paul Salas.
And they came up a winner tonight.
Right. So welcome another Westfall to the NBA.
Sigma's in the corner, and he'll bring it out. Magic helping double team, but he must keep an eye on Westfall, and Sigma wants Westfall. Got inside that three-point line and penetrated, gave it to Shelton at the buzzer, put it up. It counts. He got the shot off just as that 24-second clock expired. And Westfall was tinkering with the idea of putting up the three-pointer. Magic had retreated from him to help out defensively. Jones comes around off Jamal's hand. He batted it again, and he'll try to con the referee, but Ed Rush will have none of it. Can't call them zebras in the NBA, can I, Hot Rod? They wear those solid. That has to come on Sunday.
Whenever you're in doubt, just say white.
Hit by the purple gang, and here he comes, number 44. One of the things about Westfall, when you watch him, he is a marvelous athlete. He'll play anything and play it very well. John Johnson off to Jones, 62-55. Sonics leading the champions. Rush, you still with us, or you taking a nap?
I'll wake up in a minute.
Watch this.
Then he dishes, and there he is.
Oh, Archie. Oh, that's a tough call. Johnny Johnson had set it up perfectly. Look at the feed, and Westfall with a jammer with a left hand, but it's a charge. There he takes it right in.
me up a little bit, Brent.
How did you see that one, Russ?
I think it woke the crowd up here, too. We're more than 32,000 on hand.
Russ didn't see it.
Nixon on the fadeaway. Sikma yanks it down. Sonics leading by 7. They have led all the way. Remember, at one time, they were up by 19 points. And then late in the second quarter, the Lakers rallied.
A little intimidation there by a big Kareem. Or Lonnie would have had that field goal.
As Nixon came inside, there was a foul call, and Lenny Wilkins wants timeout. There is that jam. Well, even if it didn't count it was pretty to watch. We've got a timeout, 6:33 to go, and 4 fouls now against Benny Johnson of the Sonics. Our sports weekend on CBS continues tomorrow with the CBS Sports Spectacular. Always a popular feature whenever they cover gymnastics. And you'll have international competition with them tomorrow on the CBS Sports Spectacular, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time here on CBS. And now we have 6 minutes and 33 seconds to go in period number 3 in the Kingdome from Seattle. It is 62-55. The Sonics lead the defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers. And gee, if you go back to the last half dozen titles in the NBA, 4 of them were won by teams representing the Pacific Division. And I would guess, Russ, that they still must be considered number 1 in the NBA right now, the 4 divisions. Wouldn't you think?
It's a tough division. It's got to be tough. It's tough all the way to Golden State, who finished last year, was not that bad.
And of course,
well, they weren't that good, but they weren't that bad.
Big Lonnie went up there and tried to squeeze the air out of the rebound, and he did. LA gets it back.
Jones on turnaround. Knocked from JJ to Westfall. And there's a technical foul call as Jim Jones came down the floor. He said something to Rush.
Well, as I said earlier, he's very astute in expressing himself.
Westfall's going to say thank you very much.
We get word that Dennis Johnson scored 28 points tonight for the Phoenix Suns. And the man he was traded for, Paul Westfall, now is up to 18. But I would rather imagine that John McLeod and the Suns, well, maybe not, but wouldn't they prefer that someone else wind up their leading scorer? Wasn't that what led to some of the problems here in Seattle, that they thought Dennis Johnson was seizing the offense on his own?
That may not be the situation. The way McLeod plays a very controlled game there. You know, they do run, but they play a lot of control game. But out of that comes the shots, and whoever got the shots, that's who takes them.
First team foul.
There's that foul on Jones, Brandon. He looks like he's playing a little bit out of control right now. Pat Riley, the Laker coach, just looked out at Big Jim and said, come on now, just cool down. Don't lose your temper. Get back in the game.
He has a temper that he's lost upon occasion. Does not always serve him well. Off Magic's fingertips to the corner, quickly inside to Jamal. Wasn't that a pretty pass? There was Magic, that great court presence. He saved the ball, and he spotted his teammate underneath the basket. He is a marvel.
I'd like to see his eye chart. I bet you'd be surprised.
Yes, exactly. Sikma coming up, and Kareem just batted it away. Nixon quickly past Benny Johnson. Waiting now, inside pass. Jamal Wilkes, and the Lakers put together hoops, and here they are.
Here's that pass by Nixon right between the legs of JJ, and Wilkes on the sideline.
You know, we haven't seen the newest Laker tonight, have we? Jim Brewer, formerly of Portland, over there on the bench. Westfall down the middle and missed the layup. Batted up. Benny Johnson saves it, and a big shot by the young guard from Baylor. Just when it appeared that the Lakers might have one of their patented runs going, with Jim Brewer and Mark Landsberger watching, and now Nixon picks up his 5th personal foul, and so Cooper must replace Nixon, and what a blow that is to Paul Westhead at 4:58 of the third.
Yeah, early in the game, in fact, in the pregame show when he was talking to Westhead, he said that he would use Mr. Brewer tonight, even though he's been with them for only 1 practice session, but he's yet to play.
You like Jim Brewer, don't you, Russ?
I like his style of play, the way it would fit in with the Lakers, I think. He's a good, strong rebounder. He's not a real good shooter, but he's a good, strong rebounder, a pretty good defensive player, and will work hard.
He will probably show up for more practices than Spencer Haywood did.
Well, I'm not going to get into that.
Spencer now playing for Venice in Europe, and there's a rumor that he missed the gondola. Kareem on the turnaround, and battling for it is Sickman. Vinnie Johnson leads now to Shelton. Across the Westfall all alone.
He'll light him up all night. Got to put a hand on his face.
But you go back to that effort by Vinnie Johnson inside. After the Lakers had backed up hoops. Wilkes forces that one. Sigma is off, and here's Westfall. And as he came in, another personal called, and it is the fourth against Magic Johnson.
Ronald Westfall's great, I think, contributions to the club. Not only his physical ability, but he's so smart. And he has the temper to wait. He knows when to make his move, when to go. And they drew the foul.
As Shelton put it down, he traveled. They had cleared out a side, and it was going to be Shelton against Landsberger. And you're looking at a man who I think may develop into one of the best power forwards. I guess there can only be one best. One of the better power forwards in the NBA, Ronnie Shelton. I know that Russ does not agree with me.
Yes, he does. Don't you, Russ?
Cooper sending it to Wilkes.
I love those firm commitments Russell makes.
Landsberger with an offensive rebound, shoveled it off. The Wilkes coming inside, and they've turned it over. And Brown will cut to the hole. Wouldn't stay there. Landsberger tried to keep it in play. And Sonics ball.
Fred, that was a great defensive play by Mike Cooper. He went up. Freddie Brown gave him a good move, but missed the layup. But Cooper intimidated him and could possibly have fouled him. But look at that body control. And he got his body out of the way and intimidated on the shot.
Westfall. And now for Westy, 22 points. And more importantly, the Sonics have 70 to the Lakers 59. Johnson taking it back, missing the layup. Landsberger, instead of looking for the receiver that time, went right back up with the shot inside. He has come off the bench and yanked down 9 rebounds for Los Angeles.
And he seemed to be shooting a little better than he did last season.
Well, sometimes the arrival of a player like Jim Brewer will do that to you. Shelton drawing the foul from Landsberger, and the Lakers will use a timeout.
Well, Mark Landsberger on that play, drawing the foul. 70-61, Seattle up, 2:58 left. We're in the third quarter, NBA right here.
Everyone watches also the NFL on CBS. We got a full slate of regional games for you, some good ones. Will the Rams do to the Cardinals what they've been doing to some other secondaries? How about the 49ers down there in Dallas? Danny White having a marvelous year. Chicago, are they coming back? They owe Minnesota one, but Ted Brown looks good, doesn't he? Philadelphia, you've got to admire that organization. Giants looking for some breathing room. Green Bay at Tampa Bay, and New Orleans at Detroit. New Orleans, a story in reverse, and Irv Cross was down there this week to find out what's gone wrong with the Saints, and he'll have that story for you 30 minutes before the kickoff. That is Sunday on the NFL Today on CBS. Here, of course, our NBA coverage continues as Ronnie Shelton hits his free throws. 72-61, 2 minutes and 57 seconds to go in period number 3 as the NBA opens its 35th season. And it's nice to have you along with us tonight. I'm Brent Musburger with Hot Rod Huntley and Bill Russell, and Mark Landsberger hit the field goal.
Super pass by Kareem. He gave a fake with the one guy cutting through, and when the defense reacted to it, he gave to the open man.
Do you remember, Hot Rod, that one brick that Mark threw up in the championship series? We got a ricochet half the length of the floor. But he is strong, and he played his role very well for the champions last year.
So nice to be as big as Kareem and be able to see people looking down, cutting by.
Sigma took it outside that time. Let's see for Jack now. He has scored 8. That's his first field goal here in the second half. And he has tough defensive assignment. There it is.
Watch out behind you.
like that against him.
He's that little drop back step to make it look as if he was going to spin for the jump shot. Watch Kareem. He'll step back. It'll make Sickman think he's going to turn back for that turnaround jumper. Now he turns across, rolls that sky hook right through. Nothing more Sickman could have done. He played him as well as he could.
Nice to hear that Doug Collins playing again for Philadelphia, and we certainly hope that he has an injury-free season. He was back in Billy C's starting lineup tonight. Sad to hear that Henry Bibby had not made the team. He was a great player for the 76ers the last few years. Downtown. Cooper comes through, and that's where Magic wanted him. Reams at the top. It's a 10-point Sonic lead. Cooper from the perimeter is off. It's purple on that side, and Bailey went up, score. It's goaltending. He sealed it up against the glass.
Now, this is the time of the game when you notice the little things, the subtle things that a guy like Magic Johnson does. Now, here he is on the offensive board. And as the great players, when you get down the stretch, they start doing things that let you know how much talent they have. They do things you don't expect them to do. You know, it's like we used to play against Oscar Robertson. He'd pass the ball for 3 quarters, and when the game got tough, he kept the ball. Magic Johnson's that kind of player.
Gee, Magic
gets stronger as the game goes.
Rush Magic in his prime against Oscar in his prime. Would have been kind of interesting, wouldn't it?
Very interesting.
And of course, Johnson's just a youngster. Wilkes on one of those kind of hanging shots underneath, and it is now a 6-point Sonic lead. And here they come, 2 hoops inside.
And Kareem with another assist. He got that one from way out front and rifled it right down the alley, threading the needle.
The thing that impresses me the most about the Los Angeles Lakers is the fact that they have not played well in this game, and yet you look at the scoreboard, and they're only 6 points behind a team that I think has outplayed us.
They'll hang in there. Now they're going to get a couple of free throws here as JJ, who a moment ago was called for the charge against Wilkes, this time comes right back at him with the same move, and he went up for the shot and was hacked for the foul. And the Lakers are over the limit with 48 seconds left, and the Sonics have but 2 team fouls.
Hot Rod, do you think that Paul Westhead can do it with 7 men? Of course, if we add Brewer with 8.
As long as he keeps Kareem out of foul trouble, and which I think he can do for the most part of the year, and Magic Johnson healthy, you know Wilkes is going to be there. They've got to be the team to beat again. I think they would have to be the favorites to repeat.
Brent, if you don't have injuries, unless you have a really special situation, you can't play many more than 8 guys. And for them to be able to play the amount of minutes that it takes to have a rhythm to play this game, you got to have timing is the key to this game. And unless you got a special situation where you got a kamikaze squad, you might call it, playing defense, diving all over everything. For most of your teams, you can only play 8 guys.
You know, there's a newcomer over there on that Seattle bench that I know a lot of Notre Dame fans are wondering about. Bill Hanslick. He's top draft choice of Lenny Wilkins. Now, he's a big guard, 6'7".
I'm wondering where all these big guys are coming from trying to play guard. They know they can't breathe that far from the bucket. You know, one of the things that Lenny Wilkins has been able to do for the last few years with his young players, like last year with Benny Johnson and James Bailey, is not put the pressure on them to have to perform right away. And that's a tremendous asset that we have, to be able to learn from watching the game right there and being part of it.
He came out of LaSalle, was hired as an assistant coach by Jack McKinney, and then because of that tragic bicycle accident, Paul Westhead became the Lakers head coach, and in his rookie season in the NBA, he won a world championship. And he is far more than just a basketball man. Let me tell you, he's a Shakespearean scholar. He talked a little bit of everything to you about education. Fine man. And up over the top, Cooper got tangled up with Westfall, and Cooper is assessed. It was accidental, but it was like he'd thrown a saddle up on Westfall.
Both players are all right. There's to take a look at it again. Hit Jamal right at top lane. Here comes Coop. Right across the lane right here and up over the top. Get him up, boy. Move him out.
Into Sigma. Turns on Chone. One spin, 2 minutes. And Freddie Brown is protesting it goes over.
It'll be a loose ball foul.
And it's going to be the 3rd foul against young Bailey.
Well, he hit him real hard. There's no blood. There's no reason to...
8-point Sonic lead. Time left in the 3rd. Top center portion of your screen. I think he wanted to pass that time, but he got the rebound back, and it's 78-72, back to 6. And that's where we'll stand, with the money period still to come on CBS. And the NBA on CBS will continue after these messages from your local stations.
The NBA on CBS is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer, and less. Federal Express, when you have a package that absolutely, positively has to be there overnight. Federal Express. And by Rolaids for acid indigestion or heartburn. Rolaids spells relief.
Magic Johnson looking for the last shot. The Lakers are down by 8 as seconds run out at the end of the 3rd quarter. Watch him make this move. He puts a shot up, misses, comes right back after it, makes a beautiful soft follow-up off the glass to pull the Lakers to within 6. And that's the kind of a play it's going to take by LA to come back in this 4th period.
And the hot rod, the young man from Washington State, played basketball over in Europe last year, a 7-foot 2-inch James Donaldson is on the floor for the Seattle Supersonics. He wears number 40. He's matched in against Jim Jones. Abdul-Jabbar not out there right now. Brown coming through, and there is Donaldson with a left-handed shot. Going back up, there was a personal. Played for George Bradley at Washington State. Some felt he was going to be too slow for the NBA, so Dennis Otry was also picked up by Lenny Wilkins, and when and if Gus Williams comes back to this team, they probably will make a move at that position. Either Otry or Donaldson might have to go. They lost Tommy Lagarde in the expansion draft down to the Dallas Mavericks of Dick Motta. And there is Dennis Otry.
But to a man, Brent, they speak very highly of this young man. All the players that talked to him before the game, they said he can play.
Jamal saying, where'd that redwood come from? Got inside. And the foul is called as Jamal went back in to dig it out. And Abdul-Jabbar will come in and test young Donaldson. And here we are. It's a pleasure to have you with us here in Seattle. Hot Rod Hundley wearing his Seattle green, or is it Celtic green? Bill Russell in his government-issued blue.
And you and your polyester. Just, you got a little.
I think they were trying to tell you something when you didn't get the free Blazers this summer?
Yeah, I kind of wondered about that, Brent.
Listen, I'm
beginning to feel a little insecure.
I know some people in New York, and I'll make sure you get your jackets, okay? Here we are, Westfall, the bounce pass from downtown. In and out. Up J.J. Magic got it back, and there's Jones. And here he is. Off. Soap. Westfall went with him that time. Bailey and Donaldson helping out. Stolen by Wilkes. Dish. Pretty play by Jamal Wilkes, and he's hurt. Jamal Wilkes is hurt.
He took a shot right in the groin.
And now the Lakers can use their 20-second timeout if they want.
20-second timeout. Look at it again. Boy, what a play he made on the pass off. He made the steal, rolls in. Here's your contact. Look at beat it off the Magic for the easy layup, and whap, he took a shot.
Oh,
that hurts.
That would change your voice.
That's Jack Curran and the Laker trainer out with Jamal Wilkes. It only hurts when I smile. Look again. Here's the other angle on the shot. Wilkes, smack. Down he goes. Magic says, I'm going to get me 2.
I do not want to see that replay again.
That's too painful to watch.
It is, indeed. We got 10:52 to go here in this opener in Seattle. 35,233, and somewhere Gus Williams gets out his pencil, adds up the dollar signs. 81-76, Sonics over the Lakers. That hook by Kareem is short. It's the crunch time. Misfired again. And Bailey dancing with the ball that went out of bounds. And Ed Rush looks for help.
We'll give it to the Lakers.
That was not the proper call.
Hold the phone. They'll go give it to Seattle.
That is the proper call.
So Jamal Wilkes taking a break over there on the Laker bench. And John Johnson is short. And it's handed off to Magic. They pull back to within 5.
No fouling.
Jones throws it, and now it is at 3, 81-78. So the Sonics now come eye to eye with the world champions here at the 10-minute mark. And Bailey will challenge Kareem. And wasn't that a pretty play?
That was a super play.
Boy, he took it right to Kareem, got him to commit himself, then moved it out with the left hand. That is great leaping ability, got him right in there for the easy layup. We got a timeout. 9:56 left in the game. Seattle by 5.
Mano mano, and Kareem goes for the shooting hand, the right hand of James Bailey. And look what I've got in the other hand. He pulls the rabbit out of the hat and goes to the left-handed shot to make it 83-78. And we may be thinking back to that basket for a long time here.
And he's fouled on the play, so he'll get a chance at the three-pointer. Kareem gets his second foul. I think he should have waited, Russ. What do you think? And let the man bring it to him.
Well, I think that shot was a tribute to Kareem's defense, because when you can make a guy be that creative, you're doing something right. Now, that's a spectacular shot, and what you want the other team doing as a defensive player, you want them to continually have to do something spectacular.
A little bit like a playoff game here, isn't it? At 9:48, 83-78.
Well, the Lakers are going to run into this every night, well, because a team can lose 5 games. They beat them, and their whole week is made because they beat the world champion.
Shelton had a hand on it, and it bounced off Fred Brown, rejected by Bailey. There is that marvelous leaping ability. And Brown hits the field goal.
That's the biggest play of the game. Bailey in one preseason game this year blocked 2 of Kareem's hooks, and here he's done it again.
Kareem inside of Donaldson.
There they are, isolated here. Donaldson right up on the back of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Both players in your program at 7-2. Kareem to the left. Here comes Bailey again. Look at this. The ball never got up there. It was knocked away in a foul before Kareem put it up. He may have been able to block that one.
Kareem missing the free throw. 35,000 cheering that miss. Russ, that time Donaldson did appear to be slow. Kareem moved around him in a hurry.
Well, what you have to understand about Kareem, one of the reasons he's such a great player is not so much his height. He is very active in that post. He does not have very much room to operate, and he's very mobile, much mobile than most people realize. And so because he's used to playing against guys a lot smaller, now it'll show in a guy like Donaldson.
And here's Donaldson. Shot clock at 9, and he shows his hooker. Landsberger Nixon on the move. Dishes Jones. He'll pull up. And it's 85-81, a 4-point Sonic lead. 8 minutes and 51 seconds to go here in the fourth period.
Look at this. I think they got Shelton hit Landsberg's pretty good shot.
Now watch Mark Landsberger, and I'll tell you, Shelton popped him good, didn't he?
They caught him. The offensive foul. If he was asleep, he woke him up. Or if he was... That could hurt.
Shelton goes inside and traveling his call.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Shelton.
I don't know how that could have been walking. They knocked the ball away, but they called Kareem for traveling.
Here's a...
Look at this play. Now, here's Kareem. See if he walks. He puts it on the floor, made a move, and they knock it away, and they call him for traveling.
Kareem is shooting only 5 of 18 in this game.
It's tough out there.
Boy, has this young man come to play tonight. Now, it goes against him on offense that time, but he rises in the air, doesn't he? And that's 4 fouls on young Bailey.
He'll shove off with the left arm. A good feed bouncing in from Shelton. Right here with the left arm. There it is. Pushed Jones right out of the way. Good call.
Getting very physical inside. Donaldson trying to keep Kareem out away from the basket. Cooper sends it over to Jones. It's a 2-point game on that field goal at the 7:53 mark.
Now, in order for the Sonics to take control of this game, they're going to have to start to run.
Westfall up high. Donaldson went to put it in, and it was basket interference.
No field goal. That was Donaldson up there on the hoop. He'll come out, and Sigma comes back. There's a look at it again. Offensive goaltender.
Perhaps you could not see it that time, but he did indeed touch the ball when it was up on that cylinder. Cooper outside, and we are tied at 85. And so the world champions have overcome a 19-point deficit.
Now, the question is, will they fall back again after catching up? That's what happens a great deal.
Shelton coming to Landsberger, and he was fouled. 4 fouls on Mark Landsberger. And Vinnie Johnson replaces Paul Westfall. Westfall leaving with 22 points. He has not scored in the fourth period. So they'll give him a breather and try to bring his offense back in the game. Shelton coming inside, and Landsberger draws his 5th foul.
Boy, he is really hot. He does not like that one bit. Go on, tell him about it, Mark.
Shelton gets the shots. 2.
Lonnie Shelton will be up the line. Perhaps Westfall has put in so many minutes, Brent, that he's, being tired. That's why he has not scored here in 6 minutes, almost 6 minutes of the fourth period.
He's not used to playing that many minutes. He came from John McLeod's team. Wasn't that his complaint at Phoenix? 87-85 now on the strength of Lonnie Shelton's free throws. And they retreat on defense. Shelton trying to seal Landsberger up from the offensive rebounding end. Shelton is moving Landsberger out, and Bailey is going in for the rebound. The Sonics now working very well as a unit rebounding, something that Bill Russell alluded to earlier. Here is Shelton coming off the shove and hitting the field goal. Nixon on the penetration. Did not get the roll. Jones could not get a good tip on it, and it's downtown to the middle. Off, loose, and out comes Norm Nixon in a hurry. He's got Cooper ahead of him on the right. But the Sonics also are back, tapped into Jones. Jones comes up with the loose ball in the field goal. Now it's a 2-point Sonic lead. Shelton, and he has hit Seattle's last 6 points.
They gave him a one-on-one there, and he didn't even look for the drive. He just raised up and hit the jumper as Landsberger dropped back.
He has taken charge of this game. Inside, all he's doing is trying to seal Landsberger away as Norm Nixon from the corner, 91-89 now at the 5:32 mark. Sikma dishing back, Buddy Brown on the turnover. Here's Nixon. Lakers trying to put field goals together. Rises up on Sikma and short and runs it down. Fresh 24 and they hit Landsberger, who's alone outside and off with the shot.
That was not a good shot.
Well, there's some great defense by Jack Sikma. When Nixon came down and he gave him a bunch of fakes, he did not go for any of them. Stayed between them and the basket. I then went in and got the rebound. That's super play.
Bailey, he's off. It goes right back to Vinnie Johnson. Vinnie Johnson with 13 points. And the crowd appreciates how the Sonics are hanging tough down the stretch.
That's a dangerous play right there to throw the ball to court blindly, and it went right to Vinnie Johnson for the field goal.
The NBA on CBS will continue after this word from your local station. How about a scoring update? The Boston Celtics, a winner in their debut, 130-103 over Cleveland. And Milwaukee went into Philadelphia and beat the 76ers by 3, 106-103. San Antonio edged Denver and David Thompson, 113-112. And Portland loses in Utah, 96-86. Darrell Griffith's debut. San Diego, under new coach Paul Silas, beats Houston, 120-104. And it was Phoenix with 28 points by Dennis Johnson, 121-101 over Golden State. You're up to date at the 4:29 mark. Dished off to Kareem, and it is back down to 2. The unstoppable offense. And the Washington Bullets beat back Detroit, 95-85, and Indiana winning against New Jersey. So a full night as the NBA begins its 35th year. As Bailey came in, he was camped out. So on the 3-second violation, it now goes over to the Lakers, who can tie the game on this trip. And Hot Rod, where do you think they'll go?
I think they're going to go inside of the big fella. Nixon is always the man that's been making the pass here lately. He got the assist on the last one, and they're going to need his floor play coming down the wire here.
Shot clock's inside of 10. And Kareem said, yeah, go ahead. We're tied.
He looked in at Kareem, and Kareem looked back and winked, and he put in the hoop.
340. Here's Westfall. Sonics lead. 24 by Westfall in his Sonic debut. Knocked away by Bailey. They have taken young Donaldson out, as I'm sure you're aware, and Bailey, Sikma, and Shelton are closing up front for Wilkins. Norm Nixon knots it at 95.
You know, he's one of the better players that can play with 5 fouls than Norm Nixon. I've noticed that over last year, that he plays very well with 5 fouls.
Just think, for these coaches and players, and yes, the fans, 81 to go on the turnover. Back to the Lakers. Boy, they put you through an emotional season, don't they? And then the playoffs begin. How do these coaches stand it? Lenny Wilkins' stomach already in knots. Here he is, tied. First game of the season. Again, congratulations to Kansas City on its first American League championship, and in particular, George Brett. No one deserves a title any more than he does. Houston beating Philadelphia. What a classic game that was this afternoon. 1-0. They duel 11 innings down in the Dome, and now Bill Burton is only 1 win away. And I know many of the players are watching the NBA action tonight. We hope you're enjoying the game along with everybody else. Young James Bailey with that rebound. We're tied at 95. The clock shows 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go. Shelton sending it to Westfall. Westfall, Kareem's out on him. And of course, Magic can hold his own inside. Shelton with time running out. That's why he took the perimeter shot. There was only a second left on the shot clock. Kareem sends it to Silk. Tapped up and in by last year's rookie phenom, Magic Johnson.
He got a defensive rebound the other end, the offensive rebound on this end.
Yeah, the Lakers have played with 14 fouls for the last 6 minutes.
Sigma came to the glass and Kareem goaltending. The Laker bench not agreeing, but we're tied again at 97.
Chop never got up there, and he slapped it off the glass. It looked to me like it was a good block. But they give him a field goal that ties it.
You can't knock it into the backboard, and that's what he did. He knocked it to the backboard. That's why they call it goaltending.
Kareem on the turnaround thought about the left hand and misfired. Abdul-Jabbar now is only 6 of 22 from the floor. Way off his game here tonight in Seattle. And still the champions are tied with the Sonics. Westfall misses. 58 seconds. Wilkes glides, left hand, went back to get it, and there was an elbow play as Jamal Wilkes came back inside on Jack Sigma. And Lenny Wilkins will use a timeout. There you can see now, actually, I believe the foul came as he came back inside on Sigma after the missed shot. That's when the whistle was blown. And Jamal Wilkes and the Lakers sit down, but Paul Westfall was wide open down here. Wasn't he, Russ, on that one shot?
Yes. You know, this is where the teams have got to play defense. And what you have to do in a situation like this is you have to make sure that they don't get a good shot and only one of those. One bad shot, you know. And so that shot was a breakdown defense. And the shot that Westfall had, it was probably really missed. He couldn't believe he was dead wide open. And the Lakers are going to have this kind of situation all year. Teams are going to be really ready for it.
Switch it anyway. It's coming out.
Supersonics highlight film of last season, sponsored by Pepsi, produced by Campbell Productions. Will be available soon. I'm talking about
Get over, fine. Get over. Right now. On a miss, let's run it down and see if we have the early break. If not, call a timeout when you get down there. All right?
So the sound advice, don't automatically go to the timeout, because if you've got something going and you can get it done, do it now. And I suppose Red Auerbach and the Boston Celtics are responsible for bringing that upon the National Basketball Association. That certainly used to be Auerbach's philosophy, or at least he told me it was his and not yours, Russ.
You know, it's like the 2-minute drill in football. You may call 2 or 3 plays, options that the players have according to the situation, so that a timeout is not necessarily the best thing to do at all times. If you have a break going that you think can work and get a good shot, you go with it. If not, then you call a timeout.
Great way to start a season, isn't it, on CBS? John Johnson, who has come in now for young Bailey. Shelton cutting off, no basket. And they're in the penalty, remember.
Foul is on Jones.
It goes against Jones as Shelton turned the corner off the play. It was designed to get Lonnie Shelton open. And he sure was that. And he was angry because he also missed the field goal in that situation, because that would have counted too.
And in a situation like this, if you possibly can, it's best to get a shot going to the basket, because the chance of getting a foul called are great. And plus you get a better chance at the offensive board.
Now point not only puts the Sonics ahead, but it also pushes Shelton's total to 19. Jones coming down with it, and now they'll go to the timeout. And here is this play that they work. Now watch Shelton go to the basket, says Bill Russell. Watch him down low over there on the right-hand side. Jones now has looked away, and they're patiently letting this develop. Now he stands at the top. John Johnson, a marvelous passer, and there's the pick man. Send Freddie Brown in to pick on Jones, and Jones reaches up over the top with an arm foul. And Shelton unhappy because he did not hit the layup. Now, of course, pressure on the Lakers at 41 seconds. Lenny Wilkins knows he's going to get the ball back, too.
Now the Lakers have to ask themselves, do we want to go down and get a quick shot? Or do we want to take 10 or 15 seconds? What you hope to do is you have the last shot. Hopefully you try to be ahead.
You know, Russ, one thing, the Sonics have only 2 team fouls. Let's listen to Lenny. He's got one to give here if he wants to do it.
When you foul, if it looks like a guy's going to score, if you can get him before you shoot him.
Assistant coach Les Hoffaker.
You don't want to just go out and just hit a guy just for the sake of hitting him, because the clock, while it's in their favor now, if the Lakers score, then the clock is not in their favor, and so you do not want to make a decision. Do you want to waste that clock? The team ahead always wants to waste the clock, but in a one-point ball game, that can backfire on it.
So on the floor for the Sonics, on defense, Sigma Shelton, John Johnson, Freddie Brown, and Paul Westphal. And the Lakers will have Abdul-Jabbar, Jones, Jamal Wilkes, Norm Nixon, and, of course, the Magic Man who put together those 2 critical rebounds down the stretch. Sonics lead it by a point. Westphal will take Magic. Into the corner. Johnson comes free at 8 seconds, and Westphal was on him. Now there's the foul that they had to give.
First team foul.
The shot clock now goes back to 24 seconds, remember, and now we have 25 left in the game. So the Lakers can now wind it down and use it all. But Kareem will go to the hook. Misses, battle underneath. Johnson goes to save it, and Freddie Brown comes free with the ball in the corner. Tied up in the corner, the Seattle Supersonics can put away the world champions.
And because he didn't dribble, I think they can take the ball out at half court.
Now Kareem threw that shot up early, and you can see how Magic and Jamal were desperately trying to keep it in play. John Johnson with a classic bat back to his teammate Fred Brown, who simply covered up in the corner with time running down. And I believe that Freddie was looking up at Rush right there and said, let's get that timeout and get over here and regroup right now. I've got no chance. I've been ambushed. So for Abdul-Jabbar tonight, 6 of 24. Rush and Rakel are now conferring with Freddie Brown listening. Checking on the clock at the 11-second mark. And the Sonics up 98-97.
If he could shoot 6 for 24 in there in a one-point ball game,
yes. So the Sonics now, without a timeout, have grouped around Lenny Wilkins.
Now, will the Lakers play the inbound pass real tough? Now, they do that to try to cause a 5-second violation because the Sonics can't call timeout.
There's a man who took an incredible gamble, Lenny Wilkins. 2 years ago, Dennis Johnson was the most valuable player in the championship series. They did not get along late last year, and Wilkins decided that he would make a dramatic move. And he went out and he got Paul Westphal. This is the start of a long, long grind. But off the first game, and remember Gus Williams is not here because he is still a holdout. This team has played remarkably well against the world champions. 98-97. Sonics leading the Lakers by a point. And the ball comes up to midcourt. And the key factor there was the fact that Freddie Brown did not dribble once under a new rule. If he had put it on the floor once when he called that timeout, they would have had to put it inbounds backcourt. They go to timeout. They do it. Jump ball. 10 seconds. Norm Nixon with a great play on Freddie Brown. Lakers have still got a shot here at the 10-second mark. And now Westhead will use still another timeout.
Now the key here is not so much who's going to get the jump, but controlling the jump. Now that if the Sonics figure that Nixon can out-jump Brown, then they should go for the defensive jump to try to figure out where he would try to hit it and get that position. Where the Lakers have to do the same thing on the other way.
The Lakers, of course, have the only timeout remaining in this game. We're down to the last 10 seconds. The Lakers fell behind by 19 points in the first half.
And the control of the jump ball is not necessarily to the team that the guy can jump the highest, or the guy that taps the ball. Not necessarily. There are plays and ways to make sure that you get the ball.
Is this deja vu? A year ago, I can recall down at San Diego, we opened the season, and Magic Johnson fed the ball into Abdul-Jabbar, who hit that rolling skyhook. And that's how the Lakers started the season a year ago. Here's Westhead.
So you're going down to Kareem. Mike, you're taking off, Silk, you're back. So EJ, you're going to play shady on Mike Cooper's side. So if we don't get possession, you're there and Silk's there.
This play is predicated on getting the ball.
If they get it, foul. If they get it, steal or foul.
And while we've got a precious second, thanks to the crew, produced by Robert Stenner here, directed by Tony Verna, and everyone else who made this broadcast possible. And we still have a very critical 10 seconds to go. Norm Nixon and Freddie Brown will jump it up. Lakers trail it by a point. John Johnson grab, stolen by Nixon. Cooper back to Nixon. Nixon comes in behind his back. Cooper's up. Lakers have got the field goal, a second to go. There's a 20-second timeout, an injury timeout, and Lenny Wilkins cannot believe that a foul was not called on Norm Nixon. In the replay, we will get a second look at that as they came down. Now remember, John Johnson, 27, jumps in, takes the ball away from Kareem, batted away by Nixon alertly. Now watch Norm Nixon. He's going to go in all the way on Sigma. Did he crash into Sigma? Was Sigma set? From behind his back, Nixon whips it now, and Michael Cooper rises with the shot. And the Lakers take a 1-point lead with a second to go, and Wilkins is furious. One more look at it, Russ.
Sigma was still moving, so they could have called that foul either way. So they chose not to call anything.
DJ, get up!
And the field goal counts, a second to go. Nixon got a hand, and the Lakers come back and win it. Would you believe it? Down by 19 points. Los Angeles rallies for a 99-98 win. And it is a bitter loss for the Sonics. Let's go quickly to Hot Rod Hundley.
Coop, what a shot, Jim. What a great game.
Hey, came down to it, and I took the shot. I didn't think nothing of it, you know, just let it go like it was a normal shot, and thank God it went in.
How about, I guess this ball club, you've got the ability, and that's why you're the world champions, to come back when you were down by 19. What a win.
Yeah, we were struggling the first half, but we picked up the pace and got our running game going, and it got us back into it.
I think a lot of people are not realizing that this year there's a new rule that each team can take a 20-second timeout. It's no longer called an injury timeout, and Seattle, of course, had that one coming, but you regroup defensively.
That was new to me, too, Rod. I didn't know, but we got this one. That's all that counts.
All right, good luck to you, boys.
I want to say hi to my wife and my family.
Go on and enjoy it. How about that, Brett?
Wasn't that remarkable, Hot Rod? Taking a quick look at the scoring, Paul Westphal led Seattle tonight with 24, but Lonnie Shelton contributed a mighty 19. And for the winning world champion Los Angeles Lakers, who pulled a rabbit out of their hat here tonight, Jamal Wilkes with 22 points, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had an off night for him. He settled for 15, shooting only 6 of 24. For Magic Johnson, 14, Nixon 16, but Michael Cooper's 10, and it was the last two that were the most important of all. So remember, the CBS Sports Spectacular Saturday, a full round of NFL football Sunday on CBS. For Bill Russell and Hot Rod Hundley, I'm Brent Musburger. So long from Seattle. We hope you have enjoyed the start of another NBA season on CBS. And the NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.